Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to show you a bunch of things in bloom, and then I'm gonna pollinate some of them. Yeah, that's that's basically what I'm gonna do today. Trying to remind you, if you haven't joined already, about the Discord server that I started for growers of pleurothalids to connect with one another. We currently have 47 members already, and so it's growing pretty well. Link to join that will be in the description below, and just to clarify, it's free, like you don't have to pay anything to join it, and so it's a great place to connect with pleurothalid growers around the world. There's already been a lot of cool discussions about different species, people's setups, and people asking for species IDs and getting some suggestions and stuff. So again, link in the description below for that Discord, and let's get on with this video. I've been, in my journey of growing orchids from seed, I've been very picky about keeping species and pollinating species. The issue with that, though, is if you don't want to do a self, which is like pollinating a plant with its own pollen, then you have to wait for two things to be in bloom at the same time, two species, and you have to have two different plants of that species at the same time. That's been a little tough for me, and as a result, I haven't been getting as many seed capsules as I would like to practice growing these things from seed. And so that is why I've decided I will now stop being a species snob in terms of the crosses that I make. I'll probably only still keep only species in my collection, but maybe it's time to venture into the world of primary hybrids, at least primary hybrids, which is a species crossed with a species. And so today, the first cross that I'm going to be making is between these two guys. This is Masdevallia d'Alessandro. It's kind of a, let me zoom in here, like a cream colored flower, but it has some nice magenta markings on the inside of the flower. I kind of like the shape of this flower, which is why I'm going to cross it to Decumana. Hopefully we can get maintain this shape. Here's Decumana. It's a very classic commonly kept Masdevallia that's really awesome because it's got these very attractive spots, and the flowers are pretty big. I have a couple of these, and I'll show you all of them and why I decided to pick whichever one I decide to pollinate, to pick that one. Yeah, so I'll grab those now. Okay, I will now show you a couple of these things. So here's one of them in bloom, and you can see that the sepals kind of pull back. So a lot of hybrid breeding in orchids is specifically for like flatter flowers, and like flowers with like more substance to them, and also in more intense color. So even though this one looks pretty intense in terms of the spotting, this characteristic is not something that's desirable in the breeding of hybrids. If I was making a species cross with this, I wouldn't care, because this is kind of what this species sometimes does. It reflexes, these sepals reflects back, and so, but for the purpose of hybridization, that's probably why I wouldn't use this particular plant. Okay, here's another one, and even though it looks very pretty pretty flat, it's pretty flat. This one I probably wouldn't use because of the size. I prefer the size of some of the other ones I have. The sepals aren't as wide, although this one does have very strong, intense colorations. What I'm trying to achieve in this primary hybrid isn't even more intense coloration, and so that's why I'm not using this plant for this cross as well. And so that leaves me with these last two I have in bloom. see if I can show them. And ooh, come on, focus. Let me zoom out. Yeah, it leaves me with these two in bloom. They're very, very similar, and these are siblings from a flask. So that's probably why they're so similar. And there's only very subtle differences. Trying to highlight why I'm picking this one on this one here. This is my right. And the reason I'm picking it is because of the dorsal sepal, which is this top part here. This one's a little bit wider, it's a little broader, it has a little more well proportioned, it's more well proportioned. This one's a little bit pinched, and you can tell more from the back view here. You see this one here versus this one here. This one's a little wider, and so I want that that characteristic, I guess. And so I'm gonna try and select for it by choosing a parent with that characteristic. For D'Alessandro, I only have this one plant, and so kind of stuck with that in terms of this flower. But I kind of like this flower. Like I said earlier, I like the shape and I like the color, and so hopefully we can increase the size with Decumana while maintaining this kind of interesting shape. Okay, now I'll show you how I'm going to collect the pollen. It's going to be interesting trying to do this through a camera. The materials I use are this little, I don't know what it's officially called, but it's, can this focus please? They're in any kind of dissection kit if you buy it. And so it's just this little pointy metal thing. I like these because they're a little pointier than toothpicks. You could sharpen a toothpick for the same purpose, but I like using these as well because then like metal lasts a little longer than wood. And I'm going to take the pollen from this and put it on the other plant, and then I'm going to take the pollen from that plant, put it on this plant. But what I want to do first is I want to collect the pollen from both plants so that I don't dislodge the pollen and lose it when I'm trying to put this one on that one, or even worse, if I'm in the process of putting this pollen on that one, I end up putting its own pollen from that plant on itself. Then all of my babies, my progeny, are going to be like mixed parentage, and that's no good. No good. Okay, let me try and do this now. I've made a video of this before with a more zoomed in lens, but I'm gonna try again today. Again, I'm doing this facing the camera, so this might be a little tough. Okay, I want to go through the morphology of this flower real quick. So this is on Masdevallia, and so what it means is it has three sepals that are fused. So there's this sepal, and this sepal. This sepal. So this 1, 2, 3, those are the sepals, and they fuse together into this one shape. The little tails up here are typically referred to as caudae. And then it has 3 petals. So this is the lip, or the lower petal. You can see it's bouncing up and down. And then hugging the middle part here, oh my gosh, this is really hard to do. That is a petal right here, and then the other one is on the other side. And so the petals in most Masdevallia orchids, I don't want to say all because I'm not sure, they hug this thing called the column in the middle there, and that is where the pollen, or the pollinia in orchid's case, is located, as well as the stigma. So the pollinia is basically just a sac of pollen, or multiple sacs of pollen. And then the stigma is where you place the pollen to fertilize the flower. And I'm going to put this at a better angle to try it so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to be coordinated enough to do this, but if I'm not, I'll just point out where it is. This little cream part in the middle, right here, I'm going to try and pick that up by going underneath like this. And I'm scared I'm gonna drop it if I do this on camera, and so I'm just gonna pick it off and then show you what it looks like. Oh wow, so I was uncoordinated and dropped it. So I'm gonna only put the pollen from this one onto the other flower. And so again, I'm gonna be trying to get that little white thing there. I'm gonna take it off and I'll show you that one. Let's see if we can focus this. So I have just here a black background. You can see I pulled it off here. It's on the tip of my thing, my metal tool. And this, if I go to put this on the stigma of the other plant, it will not stick. And it will not be receptive. And that's because there's something called an anther cap on here. So the pollinia should be like a yellowish cream color, and this anther cap is white, and so I gotta get rid of that. Usually what I do is I'll just like smoosh it gently on my hand. I want to show this on video, so I'll grab my other tool here. Let me find it. Ooh, okay, I'll grab my other tool and I will try and smoosh it off. Hopefully I can show you. I did this in another video too, so if this fails, you can see it in that video. So I'm just gonna kind of hit this. Okay, so I've dislodged it from my thing, and so make sure I don't lose it. Whoop, you can see there the pollen's coming out. So now I have the pollen here, pollinia, and then this is the anther cap that can be discarded. So goodbye. I don't want to drop this, so I'm going to be very careful. And at the bottom of the pollinia in orchids, so the pollinia, again, just a reminder, are these little sacs of pollen. Something called the visidium. And the visidium is what makes the pollinia stick to surfaces. And so I'm going to try and grab it right now. Of course, it's not working. Let's try and grab it. Ooh. Come on. There we go. See how it's stuck? Oh! Okay. I'm gonna do this not under the camera, but you saw what I was trying to do. I kind of grabbed it by the end here. And I'll bring the flower back. Well then, caught it on camera too. It just blew away. I guess I will be using one of those other Masdevallias for this. Okay, so we're gonna use Papa number 2. This one, if you remember, with more intense spots. Okay. If you see here, I've removed the anther cap, and the pollinia is stuck to my thing. So this, see, there's like 2 little sacs you can kind of make out there. This will go onto the stigma, and let me try and show you where that is. Please don't drop. Okay, here we are. Let me zoom in. I'm zoomed in. The camera will focus. Give us. Am I too close? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Wow, I actually can't really make it out in this camera image. Let me pray this stays in focus while I move in with my face. So I gotta push this lip down. And the stigma is right here behind where the pollinia was. You can see it's kind of, I don't know if you can see. I hope you saw that. It just like stuck the pollinia on there. So now we're good. Just gonna push that in. Hopefully that caught on camera. But you see here, I no longer have pollinia on my stick. It's now on the flower. Woohoo! And now we wait around 90 days for this to mature. Okay, next up, we're gonna make a Restrepia hybrid, just for funs. Because I have them in bloom. And so here are the two I'm going to be using. This one is, wait, come on, Restrepia howii. Zoom in. Camera. I'm too close, maybe. Camera. There we go. Cool little spotted thing. It's a little tiny one with like an orange yellow lip. And the other one is Morii. So this one I like because the sepals are very striped. Come on. Here. And the lip is like kind of a weird kind of like tongue shape. So let's go through the morphology of this flower, the Restrepia. Let me see if I can. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus. Wow. Come on. Okay. Uah. So in a Restrepia, there's also 3 sepals and 3 petals. So the dorsal sepal here, this thing that's upright, and then the 2 lateral sepals are this bottom thing that kind of fuse together into one structure. So this is developmentally 2 sepals. You have your petals, which are this thing, and then also this other one on the other side here that you can't really see. I'm trying to push it down here. And then your lip, which is the 3rd petal, and the lip, come on, the lip, it's like, oh my goodness, sorry, come on, leaf, the lip is this thing. Oh, I'm failing epically. Okay, that, not this, the thing that's in there, that's not the sepals, this thing. And then the column where the pollinia and the stigma are is this kind of nose kind of shape here. If you watch SpongeBob, it kind of looks like Squidward's nose. And so the pollen is on the very end here. So we're going to remove that and place that on the stigma. I'm not going to try to capture that. I'll try to capture it on camera. Let's just try, so you can see it. Okay. So I have this little white thing on my my tool, and that is the pollinia with the anther cap. Now I gotta remove that, in which I will not show that. Okay, I successfully did it with one of them, so if this fails, that'll be okay. You see here, I'm gonna take, I don't know if you can even see the pollen on there. It's so tiny. There's a little white fleck. And maybe I'll do this sideways so you can see better where it's supposed to go. Come on. Okay, this flower is not coordinating. Okay, flip it on the side. Okay. So, if you recall, the stigma is going to be kind of right behind where the pollen was. And so I'm gonna go like there, and it should stick. And it actually just bounced away. So good thing I did one before I tried to do this on camera. Wow, that was unfortunate. Hope you enjoyed this video, even though I messed up quite a few times what I was trying to show. But if you made it here, thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna make sure I remember to keep updated on this instead of last time where I just completely forgot. And yeah, and I'll try and show the whole journey from this to a capsule to little baby plants to a full-size flowering plant, which will probably take 2 years, 1 or 2 years for the full life cycle. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Again, if you haven't joined the Discord server, link is in the description below. It's 100% free, and it's just a great place to connect with other pleurothallid growers which I think is pretty awesome. And I'll see you in the next video.